Hey singers, it's Laura. Welcome back to the weekly warm-up and welcome back to our How Do I Count It series. If you haven't checked it out, last week's video was part 1 of this series where we were talking about looking at time signatures and figuring out from that information how to count, how to learn, how to mark, how to practice your music for better rhythm. Today, we're going to take that information as our foundation and we're going to move into what you're going to see from the conductor in your rehearsal and in your performance. Conductors are always asking you, watch me, and I do want you to watch them. But if you don't understand what you're looking at, it can't help you. So today, I'm going to show you how the work that you did last week relates to what the conductor is showing. We're going to talk through some of the basic beat patterns. We're going to talk through the ideas of being in 1, in 6, subdividing, and we're even going to talk about what to do with those weird time signatures. So let's jump into it. Singers, I made you a free PDF with the basic bones of this information. It is available for free at the link below, but it's the same one as last week. It's one PDF for the whole video series. So don't download it twice, but do download it once. Tuck it in your choir folder. It's going to really help you to recall all of this information. And the other thing I want to say before we begin is I'm a singer, I'm not a conductor. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of conducting patterns today. Just know my gestures will look awful, but the basic ideas will be there. But please don't nitpick my conducting technique because I have none. Let's start with the most basic information. This might be kind of a long video, so I'm going to try to go from most important information, the stuff that's going to really affect most people most of the time, into the more niche subjects. The first thing that you need to know is the downbeat. The downbeat is beat 1 of any time signature. It doesn't matter whether a piece is in 9 or in 4, in half notes, in quarters. That downbeat is going to be the anchor. It is the single most important piece of organizing information that the conductor can show you. So it is called the downbeat because it is shown by a downward gesture with the hand, with the baton. But just know, anytime you see this, it means beat 1, a new bar, in secula seculorum, always and forever, no matter what. This is beat 1. And if you can really anchor yourself there, then even if you look down at your music, you look out in the audience, when you return to the conductor, you can always find that next downbeat that is the most important place to connect. The second most important beat is the upbeat. Now that is the last beat of any bar. So depending on what the time signature is, it might be a different beat. In a 3 pattern, it will be beat 3. In a 4 pattern, it'll be the 4th beat, but it just is the last one before the downbeat. So in a 4, we'll get 1, 2, 3, up, down, up, down. In a 2, we've just got up, down, up, down, up, down, but the upbeat is always the one before the downbeat. Now, this is not just cute information, so that you can know the names for these beats. The upbeat is really important for you to know because the transition from the upbeat to the downbeat is the most dynamic point of any bar. So that's where the most variation is going to happen in the conductor's gesture, because that is where we're moving to those resolutions into new sections of music. So let's just say we're moving along, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. It's sort of that feeling of going over the edge into something new. So always keep your eye on the downbeat and keep your eye on the upbeat moving into the next downbeat. The third piece of foundational information is that when the conductor is showing you a pattern, that pattern shows you the number of beats in the bar, but it doesn't show you what kind of note is getting the beat. That's the time signature, and what the conductor is really showing you is more related to tempo. We talked a lot about time signature in last week's video. Today, there's going to be a lot of tempo talk because the conductor here is showing you how those beats are moving. But the important thing for you to know as we go into it is that a 4-beat pattern is going to look exactly the same in terms of its basic structure, whether it's 4 quarters, 4 half notes, or 4/8 notes. Does that make sense? So we're just showing you that there are 4 beats in the bar, but the work that you did last week and on paper is telling you what each of those beats are. So now let's move into the part of the video that probably is what you expected to see, the anatomy of the beat patterns. Now, as I said, I'm not a conductor. These are gonna look pretty funky, but you'll get the basic structure. And it's not important that you know how to do them, but it is important that you know what you're looking at so that when you see somebody swing their baton out, you know if you're looking at beat 2, 6, 9, or 40, okay? So let's start with the 4-beat pattern. This one is the one that everyone imitates. If you ask a kid to show what a conductor looks like, they'll probably show this. It's what they do in car commercials. So it's gonna look like this. Of course, we start with the downbeat, and then the conductor will swing out to his or her left, then to the right, and back up. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? So let's just go through a few iterations of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, downbeat, 2, 3, upbeat, down, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it? Okay, so next let's move to the 3 pattern. In the 3 pattern, we are going to get rid of that leftward swing and we are going to just make a little triangle. So always we start with the downbeat and then we'll go 2 to the conductor's right and 3 is up because it's the last beat in the bar. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Down, 2, up, down, 2, up, down. Okay, so that's gonna look like, now 2 is just a downbeat and an upbeat. Some conductors do it really like a line, but usually it looks more like a banana shape, I guess I would say, kind of swinging a little bit out to the right side. The important thing about 2 is that you do see 2 discrete motions. You'll see the downward and then you'll see an actual impetus upwards. That's really important because there is also such a thing as conducting in 1 where it's just the down. Now, that looks horrible when I do it. It looks better when real conductors do it, but just know that there's a difference between 1, which is just downbeat and no actual up, and then a 2 pattern, which is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and so on. Okay, now you've got the basic patterns. You know that you're always gonna really anchor yourself in that downbeat. You're gonna watch like a hawk as you go from the upbeat into the downbeat. So things are really starting to take shape. Here's the trouble spot though. What happens when you've done your work at home, you've figured out your time signature, your music is marked, and then you come in and the conductor is showing something that is different than what you expect to see based on the time signature? Let's just say that you've got a piece that is marked in 4/4, and the tempo marking is something sort of vague, like allegretto, right? That could sort of be anything. If you walk in and the conductor starts showing something that looks like this, you need to decode what's going on. Do you remember which pattern this is? It's sure as heck not 4. That's a 2 pattern. So if it's a piece that's in 4/4 and the conductor is showing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, what's going on? Well, it has everything to do with tempo, and this is why I was so emphatic last week that you need to be so clear on the difference between time signature and tempo. Tempo is really going to affect what the conductor shows because in this scenario where we've got a 4/4 piece that the conductor is showing with 2 beats per bar, what is happening is that the conductor desires to go at a tempo that is too fast to control with 4 gestures in each bar. Let me just explain that by example if that's kind of a confusing sentence. If the conductor is showing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, we know that each downbeat is corresponding to a new bar. And we had previously marked our music as 4 beats per bar. So if we're going at the speed of 1 bar, 1 bar, 1 bar, the quarters are going to move at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If the conductor tries to show 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see that that motion is very chaotic and frantic. Not only is it going to be hard for the conductor to control and to maintain stability in that tempo, in its shape, in its rhythm, but it's also going to convey a look of like frantic busyness to the choir. That's not how your conductor wants you to sing. So they are choosing to condense their gesture into 2 motions per bar. And that means that the quarters are passing at ba 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 ba, and the conductor is showing 2 half notes per bar. In this case, the conductor will say, I am conducting in 2. Sometimes you'll see a conductor put a number on their chest. It looks like a baseball sign. That means I'm conducting in 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and your quarter notes are going by at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what does this mean for you? Does it mean that you need to like pull out your hair and then go back to the beginning of the piece and cross out the 4, 4 and write in 2, 2 and erase all your markings? No. It means that you need to understand that when you are reconciling what you see on your page and what the conductor is showing you, that when the conductor does that up, that is going to correspond to the 3rd beat that you've marked in your music, right? So when you are counting at home, perhaps you've been counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the tempo's faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What you're seeing from the conductor is 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is conducting in 2. And the same applies anytime that you're seeing less beats from the conductor than you expect to see based on the time signature. This happens all the time in 1. You can put pretty much any meter into 1. So you can do a 2/4 bar in 1, you can do a 4/4 bar in 1, but it happens extremely frequently with triple meters. So you've got a piece that's in 3/4, but you want to take it at a nice lively tempo, and it's hard to make those triangles nice and steady if they're fast. So what you may see is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That is a conductor conducting in 1, and it means that the gesture you see is just showing you when each new bar begins, and you can feel the internal pulses based on the work you've done with your paper and pencil that you got from the time signature. Now, maybe it goes without saying, but the converse is also true. If a conductor wants to really take their time, they may show more pulses than you might think based on the time signature. If you watched last week's video, you know that when you see a 6/8, you're going to think, compound meter, that's a number divisible by 3, so I'm going to divide it by 3 and think about it in 2 groups of 3. So we're thinking about this 6/8 as 2 big beats, and those big beats are dotted quarters. We go into rehearsal, we expect to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and a 2 and a 2 big gestures. Well, what if your conductor hasn't had their coffee this morning and maybe they even took like an allergy tablet and they're also just feeling very romantic about this music? Maybe they want to move nice and slow. And so they would slow all the way down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and a 2 and a. Well, you can see that that's not really much of a motion at all. It kind of gets frozen and it's hard to control, and then it looks sort of weird on the ends. So they may choose to actually show all 6 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be conducting in 6. So if you see more pulses than you expect, the tempo is probably slow. If you see less pulses than you expect, the tempo is fast. And that's one of the ways that the conductor is using their gesture and their organization to control the pace of the music so that it can move at the desired tempo with everybody on board. The last thing I'll say about this idea is that showing more beats than are indicated by the time signature actually happens extremely frequently in a passing way at cadences. So cadences are those harmonic landings that we have at the end of the piece, and then frequently kind of at the end of sections of the piece, where we will often take just a little bit of extra time. So let's say, for example, end of the Ave Verum Corpus, right? So Mozart has written us this very, very beautiful landing, and at the end, the sopranos have to do examine. Well, if we want to slow down those last 4 quarter note pulses, examine. If the quarters are generally slowing down, it can be hard to know where the midpoint is, because what if I'm not slowing down as fast as my neighbor? What if my neighbor is slowing down much more drastically than the conductor? It can all fall apart there. What a conductor will often do is show an extra little pulse or gesture to divide one of the beats. So in that situation, we might see, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. That's a subdivision of beat 4. And so if the conductor says, I will be in 8 in the last bar, or I will subdivide beats 3 and 4, you know that what you're looking at, those extra gestures, are showing parts of the beat. And once again, that is a matter of tempo and control, kind of keeping everybody organized. So at those moments, I want you to both understand what you're looking at and really watch like a hawk. Okay, singers, I hope your strength is not flagging. I know this has been a very long video already, but hang in there, we're almost there. We just need to talk about weird meters. 5/4, 7/8, 10/8. If you have one of those less common numbers in the top spot of the time signature, you're going to need some information from your conductor or maybe from the composer to know how to count it and how it will look as it's conducted. Let's take 5 for an example. So let's say we've got a piece that's in 5/4. The conductor may choose to show all 5 beats, but even if they do, they're going to show them either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's happening there is that I am choosing to cross the midline of my body from right to left, either after beat 2 or after beat 3. And that crossing of the midline is going to create a grouping of the beats into either a group of 3 and a group of 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, or 1, 2, and then here's a group of 3, 2, and 3. A bar of 5 can also just be conducted in 2, but with uneven groupings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, sometimes this will be obvious because sometimes in the music, it'll be like every bar is a dotted half and then a half note, a dotted half, then a half note. Well, you kind of know what you're going to look at there. It's going to be a group of 3 and then a group of 2. But most often, if you have a 5 or a 7 in the top number, you're going to want to hear from your conductor if those groupings will be 3 plus 2 or 2 plus 3. Or in the case of a 7 bar, you'll have 2 groups of 2 plus a group of 3. And that will usually be either 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, a piece that is in a time signature with 8 or 10 on the top might look more straightforward, but is probably still subject to grouping, especially if it's more modern. A time signature that has an 8 in the top spot is probably going to be grouped as 3 plus 3 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, and. You can see what a kind of groovy beat that is. And rather than writing it as constant meter changes, usually if that's a pattern that repeats over and over again, the conductor might just write it as 8, 8 or 8, 4, and then you will have that kind of consistent grouping, and the conductor will often just show it as a 3 pattern. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then a 10 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 groups of 3, and then 2 groups of 2. Whew! That is everything for today. It's a lot, I know, and I'm also sure that I missed quite a bit. So if you have questions, please put them in the comments below. I'd be very happy to do another video. I love talking about counting. And my hope is that one of you out there will just watch a little more in your next rehearsal and understand what your conductor is trying to show you. You know, as singers, we often feel like we should understand what we're looking at, but we never get conducting lessons. We're just trying to learn on the job. And I hope that this information can help you a little bit, especially today when this video was so long. I want to thank you for your time. I really appreciate you singing with me and watching these videos. Make sure you check out that PDF if you haven't already. Check out last video if you need to rebuild that foundation. And in the meanwhile, thank you for practicing.